all are available. So Carrie, we have all our available commissioners.
Okay.
Vita has been excused.
You want me to start, Carlotta?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name is Carrie Hall. We're the auditors for the Chatham Cottage Grove Special Service Area number 51. Each year, what we have to do is we present the financial statements today so that the board or the commission can approve the financial statements. And then what we do is we send it to the city of Chicago through a financial package, certain disclosures and things like that. So today, once I present the statements, it's due May 1st, or which would be, it actually is due Monday. So once I go through the package, if anybody has any questions or changes, please let me know and we can make them. Or if you want to approve it as is, we can do that also. So what we'll do is we'll, once it's approved or with or without changes, we'll send it off on behalf of the SSA51 to the city of Chicago, probably tomorrow or later today. So if everybody has a copy of the financial statements, if we could go to page 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 is your basically is your standard audit report. You guys get the highest opinion, which is an unqualified opinion. It's basically standard wordage. There's certain things in the statement that is required by the city of Chicago, but not by generally accepted accounting principles, but the city of Chicago requires us to present it. If we can go to page 3. Page 3 is what's called is your statement of net position and governmental funds balance sheet. So this is basically your balance sheet. What it shows is you have $250,171 in cash this year versus $184,021 last year. Your real estate taxes receivable is $1,264,116 versus $1,228,803. Your accounts payable is what is expenses paid in 2022 for 2021 expenses. It was $1,650 versus $1,049. Your deferred property tax revenue is $1,031,506. And with the deferred property tax revenue, since you collect taxes a year behind, that's how much the total levy was, that $1,031,506 for 2021 to be collected in 2020 and 2022 and future periods. Does anybody have any questions on the balance sheet at all?
No, I don't.
No, everything seems to be fine.
Okay, if we go to page 4. So if you look at page 4, this is basically, it's called your statement of activities and governmental fund balance, revenues, expenditures, and changes fund balance. For everybody that's not in the non-for-profit world, this is basically your income statement. Shows your revenues in and your revenues out. If you could just keep in, it's a comparative from 2021 to 2020. If you could keep these two numbers in your mind, 17,319 and 369,831. Okay. If we can now go to page 9. So 9 is, you see, 9 is is one of these required schedules that we were talking about by the city of Chicago. And what this schedule does, it compares actual to budget. So the city of Chicago requires the special service area to submit a budget to the city, and they have to kind of follow these guidelines in which they submit and how they submit it and how they spend their money. So do you remember when we talked about that 17,319, the two things that I'm talking about, the 17,319 and the 369,831? So this 17,319 in the first column under actual, and the 369,831, page 4 is really a summary of the totals, which is appearing on the budget. Does everybody kind of see how that flows through?
Mm-hmm.
You said from page 4?
Yep. So, yep, see how the 17,319 and the 369,831 flow through? This is basically a government auditing standards requires this, but the city of Chicago requires more detail. So if we can go back to 8 and 9, we'll just go through. If it's okay, I'd rather just go through the details so you can kind of see what that is. Is everybody kind of following how it works now?
Right.
The only difference between 4 and 9 is 4 has more detail. 9 has more detail and 4 does not have a budget. So if we go to customer attraction, we are under budget by 71,560. Our total public way aesthetics was 369,831 versus 258,767. Any questions on page 9 regarding any of the detail? Okay, if we go to page 10, our security patrol programs were under budget by 118,014. Our total personnel were up a little bit, 12,254 over budget. And same way with our total operations administrative, we're over budget a little bit by 15,160. So overall, our excess of revenues over expenses or income is 20,716. Does everybody see that?
Mm-hmm.
So now if we could go to, remember the 20,716, if we could go back to page 4.
Thank you for yesterday.
Now, do you see how all that agrees? The 20,716 and the governmental funds actual, that first column, see how that agrees? Does anybody have any questions on the statement of activities and governmental fund revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balance? If we go to page 5, this is just our standard wordage for our financial statements. And these are basically, we follow the guidelines of the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. It's standard wordage. It's, if we go to page 6, sorry, I'm going too fast here. This is more standard wordage. It's just, if we go to 7, so one of the things that on here, today is like is the day that we should be able to approve or make changes. Let's go to the next page, which is I think 6, 7, 8. Okay, one of the things on page 8 is you see that the fund equity net position. So we have fund balances available to move forward, or that you could carry forward to be used in other future years is 481,131 and 464.15. Does everybody kind of see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if we could go to page 9. We've already went through 9, 10, and 11. Do you remember how we did the summary? And then now if we can go to page 11, this schedule is just as important or more important than any schedule on there. If we could rotate this. So if you can see, one of the things that the city of Chicago requires us to do is to read the contract, read the subcontract. Chatham is really considered the subcontractor. So we read the subcontractor agreement, and then we apply that agreement to the books of the SSA51. So if you see this year, the SSA has no current year findings, meaning that they did, they followed the contract to the T. If you go to last year's update on prior year findings, the association did not submit the financial statements with the extended deadline. Now that was more due to COVID related issues versus anything else, but we were required to disclose it. So if you look at this page, we have no disagreements with the agreement. Your books look great, and you cleared up prior year findings. So, Melinda, or staff, Carlotta, Mr. Hughes, and Richard got to be commended for all their hard work in getting this thing out to me. So what we'll do is we'll have no findings this year as long as we submit this by Monday. Does anybody have any questions on page 11?
No. I don't.
So this basically ends my presentation. Unless people have questions, I can answer questions. I'm going to attach the license, Carlotta, and all that in the budget and all that.
Okay.
Once I submit. And
you got the credit line disclosure form?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much for doing that. Yeah. There's another form that the SSA has to attest to, is that they don't have any lines of credit, and I got that form. Yep, there it is. So,
we don't.
I got to commend you guys, because I do 5 other SSAs, and a lot of them had trouble spending a lot of this money because of COVID issues, because of the COVID restrictions and things like that. So there is going to be some carryover for you guys to really look at next year once things are pretty much opening up. So
that'd be good. We could use carryover.
Use a little extra money.
Yeah,
that's right.
we got some summer stuff to do.
We're catching up to them.
Yeah, I mean it's there for you guys to use.
So we're going to put to good use, Carrie.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, if anybody doesn't have any questions, I think you should put this to a vote. Somebody should put this to a vote to accept or to send it as is. Or if you want me to make changes, I could do that also.
Okay. I move that we accept the budget as is and can be sent.
And I'm thinking it.
Awesome. So Mr. Glover put through the motion, and Chef Lamont seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Pat, did you aye or nay?
Aye.
Awesome.
Hey, Pat.
Awesome. Okay. So that's an official vote, Carrie.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll get this put to you guys. Like I said, everybody, thank you so much. You and your staff has been great. And it's finally nice to put faces to the financial statement. So I appreciate you allowing me to be of service to you guys.
Thank you.
Hey.
Take care, guys. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carrie.